Come on in. Come on into the show, to the performance. You may have already seen this performance before, but we're going to hit replay. You ever been at a special event where you feel like you just want to, you're having a good time, you're feeling good, and a good example would be church. So we go to church, for those who go, or whatever special moment you go to, an event where you feel like I'm gonna be professional, I'm gonna be kind. This place is sacred, maybe, and so you just kind of want to put on your best show. You're smiling at everyone. You might see somebody across the way, and you just say, "Hey," you're waving. A lot of people, you may have bumped someone by accident, and you say, "Oh, excuse me." And they're like, "Oh, no problem." Everybody have patience. The word was good. You feel like, okay, I got enough to take me through the week. And then now the show is over. So we exit out. The parking lot is full. And depending on what the event is and the size of the event, you might have somebody directing the traffic. And you are just being patient. If they tell you to go left, you're going left. If they tell you to go right, you're going right. You're not fussing at all. You're just being patient, following directions. Everybody's feeling good. And we're being so kind. So when we leave the parking lot, some of us, maybe after church or whatever, we might go to a cookout. You might go to your favorite shopping place. Maybe go to the grocery store. Well, okay, we get to where we're going, ready to park. The parking lot is full. Everybody's trying to get to the same parking space. So you look over, and somebody, they're waving at you, but they're not waving at you with 5 fingers. They're waving at you with 4 fingers down and 1 up, and you know what I'm talking about. And they have a sermon for you, all right? They have some words for you, but it ain't the same words that you've seen over at the parking lot at the special event, the event called kindness, over at the church or wherever the event is for you. They got some words for you, but you look over and you see that's the same people that was just over at the other parking lot. Now ask yourself this. Now this parking lot here is called nasty. I would just call it what it is, just straight out nasty. It could be called unkind for a nicer word, but it's just straight out nasty. But something happens between the time we leave that special place where we being kind, or it's so peaceful, and we traveling over to the next parking lot. What happens, y'all? What happened to us? I don't know what that is. Same people, but they ain't waving. They're giving you the 1 finger. So, what do we do in that situation? Now, are you the person waving with the 1 finger? Are you the person that's giving the sermon, but ain't the sermon that you just heard at the other place? It's the one that's really, they're cussing you out. Are you that person? Are we that person? So, what do we do in that situation? Ask yourself that question. I ask myself that question because this seems to happen quite often to people. I mean, when I'm in the parking lot, I'm looking over and I'm just seeing there's a lot of stuff happening in the parking lot. But I had a situation where I was at a big event. This was a big event, a lot of people, so many people, a crowd. And I really didn't want to go, but I needed to go because for a certain reason. I really needed to do that, so I did. And somehow at this event, it was an outdoor event, I got separated from my family. And I was out there not by myself. I was with a lot of people, but I just wasn't with my family. Okay, so I made the best of it, you know, until we can connect again. I accidentally bumped this young child. He might have been about 10 or maybe 12. And I went to touch his shoulder just to say, oh, excuse me. That child looked at me with his eyes and just pulled back from me. If he had something that might have took me out, I might have been gone that day, y'all. But look what I did. I'm not lying to you. I was praying internally, because I'm like, well, first of all, now why am I out here? I don't even really want to be out here. So, and then I'm thinking, that's somebody's child. So in my head, in my heart, I really started praying for him in my head. And I was also saying, okay, God, you got me, right? So think about that. Now this, like I said, this is Carmen Marie Channel. Is simple. We're going to give simple what? Discussions, because these small little things that we do and how we interact and how we respond, that is going to help us in our life as a whole, you know. So, and speaking of, let me tie the scripture into this. It's Romans 12:2. And do not be conformed of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Now that means to be transformed by the mind. It's our mindset. We have to think. Our mind needs to be renewed. So we can, if the mind is renewed, our action's going to be different. Because I want to continue to respond with kindness and not be over in the parking lot of nasty. But I ain't saying that all the time. I ain't over there, y'all. Sometimes I'm just, in my head, I'll be like, oh my God, if I could just. But I'm having this talk with you today because we talk about how we are, maybe, I'm going to just say, some of us say we Christians. Baby, once Christians leave the church, that physical building, I don't know what we turn into sometimes. So think about that. I remember back in the days, you know, sometimes they'd be fighting in the parking lot. Y'all, I'm having this discussion for a reason. You might say, well, where do you live? I live just where you live, because it's happening everywhere. But I remember back in the days, we used to put 2 sticks on the shoulders. And honey, I was not going to knock that stick off. I was not going to knock that stick off the shoulder. That means you knock the stick over. You passed the first, what they call the first lick. So, and I think I am very thoughtful of how I respond now, because I'm going to share that with you in a minute. Something I've done in my past that is still in my head today, and wish I would have done things a little different. But before I get to that, I want to talk about another time we just act a plumb fool, or what I call nasty. When we're rushing out somewhere and getting on the road, for example, like if you know you got to be at work at 9 to be on time, but we leave at what, 8:55 maybe? You leave at the last minute, but now everybody on the highway is your enemy. So we cussing and we fussing, and I'm saying I'm saying we because I want to talk to all of us. Now, I don't use choice words that you may use. I just might want to tone mine down with the attitude that I might get, because I don't have patience. So I have moved a little. No, I'm in a little better place. God's still working on me, but I don't even know if I ever really gave nobody the finger, y'all. But whatever I did, my eyes do a lot of talking. So you might as well give them the finger if you're going to just, your eyes doing the same stuff. So that's where I got to tone it down with my eyes. I have a look sometimes, and I don't even know I'm looking at you like that. So I want to change that up. So can't do it by myself. I need God to transform this mind and my heart. So that's I want to share something with you about, I was saying that I did in my past that I wished I could, well, two things. One, I wish I can change, but I can't. And then the other, I feel like I responded in a very good way. So let me talk about the thing that I wish that I could change. So in my childhood, yeah, I'm going all the way back. I do remember having a fight with somebody. And I'm tying this into, because people be fighting in the parking lot. But I do remember having a fight. And I really, 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 really beat the person down. So, and I do feel, even though we're children, I do feel some kind of way about that. I wish I had done things different. But now, moving forward, I remember attending an event. And I have the memory in my head of me crying. Well, tears coming out of my eyes. Now, I could have responded differently at that moment, but one thing I knew for sure, I'm at this event. I don't want to be remembered as a fool. I prefer to be remembered as being weak, if that's what the person looked at me, as I was just being weak, because I had tears in my eyes. But sometimes when you want to respond and you know that this could be how you respond can really, really, really mess up someone's event if you attend their event. So this person was just going off on me, going off. And my family was there. But I was crying, not because I was scared. I was crying because, oh my God, if I could just, like, why do we allow people to do and say stuff to us? Sometimes you just have to let them be in the character they're in, and you can be remembered that, okay, let me tell you this. The event I was attending was a graduation. I do want to say that. Now, I prefer that child to remember me in tears instead of remember me acting a fool at the graduation. Now, I want to say that. Won't name no names and all of that, because this channel ain't about that. It's not about bringing anybody down. It's about building people up. And I'm just grateful today that I responded that way. So what do? Are you in the parking lot of kindness, or are you in the parking lot of nasty? Which one are you? So I want to make sure I covered everything. Like I said, this is my little channel. Ain't no editing going on. This is real life, y'all. Real life, simple life that can help us with our daily life. So that's it. That's it for now. I'm going to try to stay in the parking lot of kindness. I'm going to just do the best I can and just ask God to penetrate this heart. Keep me with kindness and not flip over to nasty when somebody being nasty to me. Because it ain't ending. Somebody will be nasty. Somebody going to shoot you the finger, cuss you out and all of that, y'all. But we don't have to respond that way. And today, you better be careful the way you respond anyway, because ain't no knocking the sticks off the shoulder today, baby. You don't even have to pass the first lick. That's just the way it is today. So, thank you for watching this. Thank you for coming to the parking lot, y'all. Please share this with somebody else, because look, it can help somebody else. Look in the description for all the details about Teen Time for Purpose and what that is for me. Also, the call to action that I asked between 10 and 2 is in the description. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel to help me to share encouragement. Also, like this video and share. And that's it. Just want to say peace and tea time. See you next time. Hopefully, it's the parking lot of kindness.